All right, welcome back to season 7 of our show, and today it's chicken, whole chickens, and we're roasting them up using the power of cast iron. Let's show you how to get it done. So it's chicken, and we're putting these on a grill, and we're roasting them on the grill, and we're going to show you how to do it a nice, easy way. And for you guys that are having problems cooking chicken on a grill, you'll never have that problem again. All right, so we're making a rosemary chicken. So we got some rosemary and garlic, salt, pepper, very simple meal. Let's get it done. So we're going to take this rosemary. Into our chopper we go. Got a little mini chopper here. And use as much garlic as you guys want, or as much rosemary as you want. So we're going right into the chopper with them. We chopped off all the little woody ends of the garlic. So make sure you chop that off, because sometimes it gives a hard bite. If you don't get it off of there and you cook it with it on there, you're going to have a little hard bite. So you don't want to do that, so just take that off. Alright, so into our chopper. Now the oil we're using today is an avocado oil. And that's going to help roast these up real nice. It's a high temperature oil. And we're going to be cooking these up at about 500 degrees. Most people don't cook at 500 degrees, but it's a brilliant way to cook. And we're going to show you why it's a brilliant way to cook as soon as we get this on. So here you go. And we're just using salt and pepper. It's the only thing we're using. So make it simple for you guys. And that's about it. Now you can add anything else that you want to add in here. I'm just using rosemary and garlic. But if you wanted to put sage or you want to put anything else in here, you could. All right, let's get some oil in here. Here's our avocado oil. And you're going to need a good amount because you're going to need to rub the chicken down in that. So let's get a real good amount in here. So just like that. You don't want it swimming in it, but you want a good amount. You gotta go about there where you can still see it. And there you go. All right, so we're gonna move things around and we're gonna meet you right back here. So we're gonna get a pan and show you how to put all this together, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, so here's our chickens. Now these are 4-pound birds, and I like this size bird when I'm roasting them. You wanna go with a smaller chicken when you're roasting them. Any kind of fat like this, we're just gonna pull it off of there. But you don't really have to clean these guys because they're smaller chickens and they don't really have a lot of fat in them. So just like that, just look around and see if there's anything hanging from them. And if there's nothing hanging from them, move forward. All right, so we're gonna start with a little salt. And get some salt on here, keeping one glove clean. I like to work with gloves with poultry because you can pull them right off afterwards. You know, it's funny when you see a lot of people with gloves on, they'll say, I'm gonna put this glove on, and then they'll touch everything afterwards. So what good is the glove when you touch everything with the same glove? So I don't get that one, but if you guys know why, there's a comment section. Leave a comment. All right, so we got that. We got some black pepper. A good amount of that. You're gonna spread it around anyway, so go on good with that. Just like that. Now that we got that, here's that nice marinade we made. The garlic, the rosemary, right onto the chicken. Just like that, and we're going to sprinkle some of the cavity, and we're going to rub it around. So make sure you get up under the skin as well too, on both of them. So I'm going to lift that skin back, just like that, and just get right up under the skin. And look how simple this is. So right up under the skin we go. And I'll pull this one back as well too. And just have fun with it. All right, now we're going to show you this. In the back of this chicken, we're going to take our knife. We're just going to create a couple of scores back here. This is going to let some fat out. It's also going to let me get in the back of this chicken. And when you create scores in the back of the chicken like this, it's going to allow this back part to crisp up really nice. So put some skewers back here. I'm gonna do this one too. Just right in the back of it. And just keep your knife on the backbone and just go across. And believe me, it's gonna let a lot of air into your chicken. And you're gonna love this because all this chicken back here on the back part of it, it never gets a chance to really get some heat in there. And now it's gonna get a lot of heat in there. All right, so now this part on the legs, we're just gonna cut around the leg. And what it's gonna do is cut the cartilage around the leg and allow the skin just to pull up forward, and you're gonna get a better cook on your chicken just by cutting around the bone, just like that. And just cut that cartilage on each one. See that? I'm gonna cut this one. You can feel it as you're cutting it. And when you cook it, you'll see the chicken just draw up. And it comes in real handy to have it that way. All right, I'm just gonna cut this one. And you'll just get a better cook on your chicken. And make sure that's cut. And this is the last one. I'm just gonna cut this one. Chicken's hard to grab a hold of with gloves. So I usually go in with my bare hands, but today I didn't. All right, so we got that. And now we're gonna finish seasoning our chicken up. So let's bring it over. And those are all the slits in the back, so just go right in with it. Just like that. All right, I'm just gonna use up all my marinade now. A little bit more black pepper, why not? Black pepper works out great on poultry. So let's just rub that in the back. All right, and here's our holders. We're gonna take our chicken and just get the chicken onto the holder. Anything that you find laying around the pan, just stuff it in. The inside cavity of the chicken. All right, so like that. We're gonna set it up. Move the legs forward. Get the chicken in position. And there it is. See that? He's looking right. Now I'm gonna take some more of this and just right down the side. Now you could tie the wings, but they're sitting pretty good. So you don't have to. And now let's get this one onto the spigot. All right, so let's get him in. And we're just gonna stand him up forward as well too. And there it is. Move the legs forward and put all your skin back in position that you moved. I'm gonna keep them separated like this. And then put some more of that nice marinade right down them. And that's it. All right, we're gonna heat up our grill to 500 degrees. 500 to 550. And we're gonna cook these birds. And we'll meet you right back here when we're ready to put them on, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, so we got our grill heating up to 500 degrees to put those chickens on. We got our oven at 425, and what goes better with chicken than roasted potatoes and vegetables? Let's show you how to get this one done. All right, right before we get into this, I'm just gonna show you this chicken. Take a look in there. Now I cut up some onions, some lemon, and I just laid it around the birds. That's gonna bring in some moisture into the scene. We're cooking at a very high temperature. Also, those vegetables are gonna be quite flavorful, and that lemon is gonna add a lot of juice and moisture to that pan. Move it on to the potatoes. I got some nice clean Idaho potatoes. I peeled them and I also shaped them. Let me show you how I did this. See, I took the potato, I peeled it, and take a knife. I'm just gonna cut it in half, just like that. And I put this one half back, and this is what I did. I just molded them like that and just went around the potato, so it's just not a cut potato. You know, when people look at this, look at it now. you can see the difference of just shaping it. So just always shape your potatoes, and if they look uneven, just by the mere fact that you're molding them, they look fantastic. Now take a look at this one, right? Just looks like a flat potato. And after a little transformation of molding it, just like that, it looks fantastic. So you could just take your potato peeler and just mold it to your liking. Also too, if you take any blemishes out of here or anything else like that and you got a hole in it because you dug in with the potato peeler, you have time to fix it. So you can do that just like that and not lose too much of the potato. And that's it. All right, so I'm gonna put this here for now, put it back in the basket. We're gonna go in with some salt. Now I have a rub here that has turmeric, a little marsala in there. Marsala spice, garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of paprika in there just for color, but the turmeric is going to add all the color. And it tones down the turmeric just a little bit by adding the paprika in there. All right, I'm going in with a lot of salt on these potatoes. You're going to need a bunch of it. And we're going to spin them just like that. We're going to get our spices in just like this. And then we're going to give this a spin. Just like that. And now we're going to add some oil. This is avocado oil. Before I get my hands in here, I'm going to get a little bit more of the spice in here. Now if I don't have to get my hands in here, I won't. So let's see how good we do with the spin and it picking up. Not too good, so we're going in. All right, so let's get those all dressed up, jazzed up. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go into the pan, cast iron pan, and we're putting them face down, flat. And you're gonna just space them out. And you'll see why. Just put them around the pan. And if you have any room left over, just put them together like that. This way you can space them out. These are going to look fantastic when they're cooked because they're going to become nice and golden on you. All right, so this is going to be a tight flight. All right, so put them like that, nice tight formation. And there it is. Maybe I can squeeze one more in there. And there it is. There's my oven. Maybe I'll get another one in there. I'm gonna move the smaller one out, put the bigger one in. And sometimes you can space them out and just get them in there. So I'm gonna see if I can get them in there. There you go. All right, so here's my cauliflower. I'm gonna take my cauliflower with the same hands, and I'm gonna take the rub that's in here and I'm gonna rub it all on my cauliflower. Just like that. And rub it around. Let's get some more spice in here. Just like that. And now, I'm gonna wipe my hands before I touch my bottle. But they're all vegetables, so it's no big deal. If you get your hands a little dirty and you're working with vegetables, it's not a big deal. But if you're working with meats, it's a big deal. All right, so there we go. Let's rub that in some more. Just like that. And you're putting all this nice flavor into the cauliflower. See that? Just rub it around real good and get all those nice cracks in there. This way you got plenty of flavor in that cauliflower. Just like that. Now I'm picking up a lot of the salt that's in here. So I'm not gonna salt this just because there's a lot of salt in this pan. So I'm just gonna rub it around like that. And make sure the cauliflower is well coated. And right in the middle it goes. Now our oven's heated up. I'm gonna clean my hands, and in that oven, 450 degrees it goes. All right, 400 and a quarter, 1 hour. We're gonna come back and take a look at them. Stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, 500 degrees, let's get this on. All right, I put a little piece of aluminum in the middle. It's raised up, so I don't touch the bottom of this cooker. And I don't dirty up anything on my table. And that's it, all right. I'll meet you right back here, stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, let's check this. We're about 20 minutes in, and I want to show you that. It's looking right. All right, I don't want to lose my heat. I'm closing up. Meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, so we're just about to throw down with a beautiful salad. Before we do that, we need to check on those potatoes and cauliflower. All right, looks like we're coming along mighty fine. Now this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take a tongue and I'm gonna push over these potatoes. Look at that, look at the bottoms. Don't they look fantastic? I'm just gonna get them all over. I think I'm gonna take these and put these on the table so I can get a proper handle on them, otherwise they're all gonna break up. But that's what we're gonna do. But I just wanted to show you that. So you're gonna push them over like that. They're gonna look great when they're finally out. All right, we'll meet you right back here, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, so we're using an arugula salad today. That's what we're making. We got some prunes here. These are nice prunes. And for you guys that don't know what prunes are, they're dry plums. All right, so we're just gonna mix those up in the salad, get them nice and mixed up. Cherry tomatoes, I love cherry tomatoes. We'll get those in. We'll get that mixed up. Now our dressing we're gonna put on last. We're not gonna put that on until the last second here. So I'm gonna move this over to the side. And here's some color, bell pepper. So we're gonna go on with that. And make these ingredients yours. You can put as much or as little of everything as you want. So I'm just gonna chop them like that. I want them in those size pieces because I want them to look nice inside the salad. Especially with the prunes in there, they're gonna really punch in the salad. So a lot of people, when they make a salad, they don't really think color. And you always have to think color when you make a salad because it's the first thing that people see in a salad. And a lot of people don't like salad. So you want to make it look as attractive as possible to lure people into that gorgeous salad. All right, so that's that. Here's a white onion. As much or as little as you want. I'm gonna go about there. I'm gonna break them up. This way they fold down into the salad. Just like that. And again, the amounts, make them yours. I like a lot of onion, so I'm gonna go a little bit more. I'm gonna just use up the whole thing. Why not? So here's my salad. It's looking good. And the last thing that I have to do is I'm gonna put my zucchini in. Here it is. I'm gonna cut it like that. Cut the ends off. I'm gonna cut it in half. Cut it again. And then we're just gonna half moon them. How simple is that? So get in your half moons. And you can cut those anywhere you want. Again, I'm just gonna cut it in half. And then just half moon them. Just like that. Now you got all your zucchinis in. And what do we do now? Make that dressing, right? So we're gonna give this a mix. See, this is why you don't want to put in the dressing into the last second. See how everything looks nice? You can even put it like this in a bowl and dress it on the table. So we're gonna leave it like that for now. Now I like a little garlic, so I got a couple of cloves of garlic here. So what I'll do is I'm going to bring in a bowl. Whoops, left one of those behind. Garlic, I'm just going to crush it. Just like that. Chop off my little woody stalk there. And I'm just going to chop this up into little fine pieces. Just like that. You don't need much. It's fresh garlic, so it's going to give a good punch. And just chop that little piece in too. And that's it. Now that's what normal people would use. Now I'm going to just drop this one in too because we're garlic lovers in our house. Just chop that up and let's get that in there. White wine vinegar, we're going in with a good splash. This is a port wine. It's a sweet port wine. We're going in with a good dash of that. And avocado oil. Good dash of that. A little salt. Just a pinch. And let's bring it together. And just like that, it comes together pretty fast. There it is. It's a light salad dressing. Tastes spot on. All right, we're gonna roll with that. We're gonna dress this up and meet you at the table with it. Stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, our chicken's done. Time to pull it. Look at that chicken. You see what I mean by cutting the cartilage on the legs? You see how it draws up? And that's what you want. But she's looking right. All right, I'm gonna pull this and meet you inside. Don't go anywhere. All right, here we are on a fantastic season 7 of our show. Roast chicken, cauliflower, potatoes, using the power of cast iron. Let's show you what we got. All right, so we gave this 15 minutes to 20 minutes to cool down. You don't want to go touching cast iron when it comes off the grill or out of the oven because it takes a long time to cool down. Take a look at those chickens. They're looking fantastic. And look inside. You can see all the vegetables in here. I just want to show you some of these vegetables in here. See, if you pull off the top layer of the skin, then you got the onion itself, and they're all edible. The lemons, they're looking a little rough. They didn't make it, but they kept the pan nice and juicy, and that was the purpose of those. Look at the back of these. Nice and crispy. You usually don't ever see chicken with the back crispy like that. All right, let's get these off to the side and show you how to cut them up. All right, so the first thing you want to do is get the chicken off of the spigot. And we're just going to wiggle just a tad and then just bring them up. And there we go. I lost a little skin in the back there from just lifting it. That's where the tail is. But this is nice and crispy. All right, so we're going to bring in a knife and a fork. And right down the middle is where you want to go first. So just take your knife and go right down the middle. And just half it. Right through the breastplate. And there it is. See that? And look how juicy that is. 500 degrees. You can't go wrong with that. All right, so now I'm just going to turn it over. Just like that. And we're going to separate our chicken. All right, there's the leg quarter. Here's the breast. And then we're just gonna break apart that wing in there. I'm gonna break it down right here. And look at that. Fantastic. All right, I'm gonna cut this up. I'm gonna meet you right back here. Put this back over here on the tray. And then we're gonna plate up for you guys. Don't go anywhere. All right, chicken's nice and cut up. Let's show you the rest of this beautiful meal. Let's take a look at this salad. Look at that. Does that look pretty? And here's that beautiful dressing. We're just gonna give that a little swish around. And let's get some salad in the bowl. This is why you want to dress this at the table. You know, you put your vinaigrette on at the end. I'm gonna get some more salad in there. And maybe a little bit of that zucchini on top, followed by a couple more of those prunes. All right. Here's that dressing. So take a look at how this pours. All right. You're looking right. Let's just clean this plate up. And we're gonna get some food onto this plate. Take a look at those potatoes and that cauliflower. Gorgeous. This is how you get into that cauliflower. So you just take your knife. Now I have 4 people eating today, so what I'm gonna do is this. You just gotta cut it like that. And you cut it in squares. Just come down. And now you have all of your squares. Just like that. And now you can divide evenly. So let's get some potatoes onto this plate. So I'm just gonna put a couple of these potatoes on here. Look how nice these came out. And they're nice and cool so you can handle them. So I put about 4 potatoes on this plate. And now our cauliflower. So let's get a little spatula in here. Look at that. And now you got a nice piece of cauliflower on there. See that? Look how pretty that looks. Alright, so I'm just going to turn this way for you guys. Put it so you can see that gorgeous cauliflower. And let's get some chicken. I'll go for a leg quarter. And we'll throw a wing up there. Why not? And that's all you need. You need nothing else with this, because everything's there. But you saw how tender that cauliflower looked. Let's get into it. So that's the first thing I'm going to try, is that cauliflower. That cauliflower is absolutely amazing. I cook cauliflower a lot of different ways. I do it this way a lot. But the spices we put on that cauliflower, they come through phenomenally. Excellent way to cook it. It's done perfectly. It cuts right with a knife. Don't even have to fuss with it. And you eat the entire bulb. All of it. 100% edible. Excellent way to have it. All right, let's try those potatoes. Now look how these potatoes just cut. They cut beautifully. And they're just knife tender. A beautiful creamy potato. The spices in there match perfectly with the cauliflower. We just need a piece of chicken to go along with it. All right, let's try this wing. Look at that. Piece of breast connected to it. That cast iron did its job. 500 degrees we cooked that chicken at, and it's still moist and juicy. And that's a piece of the breast, and that's still juicy. Amazing flavor. I hope you guys try that one. It's a fantastic way to cook a chicken, especially you guys that aren't used to the grill. You put the cast iron on there, it will protect it from all that heat. So you gotta try that. All right, last but not least, let's get into that salad. We're gonna try one of these rolls with it too. Buttermilk biscuits. That is great salad. That port wine dressing is outstanding. That is definitely a must try. Goes great with that salad. Very simple salad. And eat that bread with a salad like that. Just gives it that nice old-fashioned rustic feel. All right, we're gonna get organized and we're gonna meet you guys right back here. So stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, and there it is. One beautifully roasted chicken. A whole chicken standing using the power of cast iron. We parked that right on the side of a gorgeous rustic salad, followed by some gorgeous cauliflower and potatoes, using the power of cast iron once more. Goes to show you how powerful that cast iron is. So don't sleep on the cast iron. We didn't show you those rolls, but they're in cast iron too. Like always, we thank you guys. We love having you. Hope you learned something today. Until the next time. Gotta get that last Pitmaster taste there.